feel it's like it needs some theme song going on here, you know, like duh, 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 duh,
Yes,
duh.
Steve, can you share some music? I've got some great music I can play. Can we share music on this platform?
What we can actually do is you can put the music straight into the screen share, which is with screen like share video, and it does music there as well. So it pre-uploads it, so there's no like streaming issues. It's actually quite nice, but it takes a sec to do that. I'm just doing a million things at once, so I'll look at your lovely face very soon, Adam.
Nice to see you, mate. Okay.
Here we go. I think people can actually see us right now. So hello, humans who can see this setup going on. It's lovely to have you. This is in a webinar view, so if you're wondering why you can't turn your video or your microphone on, that would explain it. However, if you would like to raise your hand, and I can choose a few people, if you're not going to cause any shenanigans during Adam's session, to say hello with your video and some sound. Or maybe not some sound, but at least some video. So you can choose something like choose to interact or raise my hand to become a presenter or something like that. All right, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Adam is there somewhere. His video's off, hiding in the background like a ninja, a German ninja.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. It would be great if there are some people who might be interested in sharing reflections during the session who would be willing to share their voice. That would be really cool.
Yeah. So attendees, you can raise your hands if you'd like to have a video on. I'm going to invite a few people that I do know already. Just without permission, I'm inviting you, but you don't need to accept it. So you may interact live. Blah, 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 blah. There's Manal. Hello, Manal. Conference leadership team there. PR manager. Tuning in from Saudi Arabia.
Winging it as I go.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing.
And that's I think the description that really, describe what I do.
I mean, isn't that what life is about? Like some people pretend they know what they're doing and it's all planned out, but really they're just fucking winging it, aren't they? Just after the fact, you say, no, I need to do that. What do you think, Adam? What's your profound sense of wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
I'm just curious about screen sharing right now, Steve. So I'm
All right.
just exploring that.
No worries. I'll leave you alone. Not to ask you about the meaning of life.
I
Right,
wonder if I have to restart it before I can share my screen.
So do you have a thing up there that says share screen?
Let's.
There we go. You've chosen just, I think, desktop or something, so you could choose like browser or whatever else. Okay.
I can't see which screen I'm sharing, Steve.
If you want to stop that one and then click on share screen again, you'll be able to choose which window you want to share.
Let's have a look. I've got entire screen or Blue Jeans Network video. Okay, Steve, can someone do a kind of whiteboard situation for me? Do you think is that possible?
Yep, I can get something like that going. Did you just want to write?
Yeah, I want to just write some text up there in a bit. But
all right.
Should we begin?
Yeah, on the side of your screen as well, there should be something that says apps, and then there's a whiteboard one in there.
I don't seem to have that option. I've got other things. But let's just begin.
All right.
We begin?
Yep, I'll give you a nice little intro.
Okay.
And we'll get the ball rolling. So here we go. think that's actually a nice little breath to start this. Sorry for the slight delay, everybody. So we've got Adam Wilder here. So welcome back to this session. This is a webinar view. You can raise your hand if you'd like to interact, and I can invite you to do it. But it's great to have Adam Wilder joining us, who is relationship and intimacy coach, entrepreneur, founder of the Togetherness Festival, works with Human Connection. I actually attended one of his recent events on the dating, which was very interesting as well. Adam's been a long-time friend of the conference. He works as a trainer and a facilitator at Togetherness. He's going to be talking to us today about embodied boundaries. So setting healthy limits is the cornerstone of how we look after ourselves. He does a lot on embodied sovereignty, which I can never say properly, as he knows, and running a course very soon on it, I believe, if it's not yet started. So very welcome and great to have you and your lovely moustache here, Adam.
Thank you, Steve, and hello and welcome everyone. And I know we can't all see each other, but I'd like to start just by inviting you to have a little wave at the screen, just saying hello, and maybe just say hello out loud as well. Hello, hello. And great, it's great to see a few people at least we can see smiling back. That's great. Hi, welcome to this session on embodied boundaries. Now, this is the foundation of self-care, is being able to set a limit, being able to say no, being able to say, I don't like that, I don't want that, and moving away from that, and being in touch with what it is that we actually want or need or desire, and having the ability to move towards that. But lots of us can find it hard to actually say no for different reasons, and I want to get really into that in a minute. But we are these biological beings with bodies and feelings and nervous systems. So usually we do get signals about, I want this, I don't want this. But we're not always in touch with them. And it's like a muscle that we need to re-stretch and re-engage with so that we can use it to be in our sovereignty, in this state of wholeness and being, and so that we can really choose when to say no, when to say yes. When to say, I'm not sure. Let's talk about it. What I'd love to do now is invite you in the chat to, I'm going to just invite everyone, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for a moment, if you like. And in your mind, I want you to start rolling the words around in your mind, yes. Yes, just start rolling that around in your mind. And notice what that feels like in your body. Yes. Yes. And maybe you'd like to start moving a little bit with that word. Maybe you want to start saying it out loud. You're absolutely free if you want to get up out of your chair and move with this word, yes. Yes. Notice, what does it feel like? What does it bring up for you in your body? Yes. Yes. And when you're ready, you can just start bringing that back to neutral. Come back to neutral. Maybe you want to give a quick shake out. Shake a McShake shake. And now I'll invite you to close your eyes again, and this time you just start rolling around this word no. No. Start playing with that in your mind. And again, maybe you would like to start actually mouthing this word. No. No. Notice, how is it feeling in your body? What are you noticing? And maybe you even want to start saying it out loud and moving with it. How does this no move in you? How does it move in your body? How does your body want to move? with this word no. Just stay with that for a moment. Notice what's going on. There's no right or wrong here. What we want to practice is the noticing, is the awareness. Keep playing with this no, no. And again, when you're ready, you can now come back to neutral and wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit and open your eyes and come back. And I'd like to, maybe have a little stretch out if you want to stretch out, shake it out. Little yawn. And I want to invite you to write in the chat. Let's start with this yes. What did the yes feel like in your body? Let's have a look at this. The yes brought some, I want to start with the yes first. The yes brought some dizziness. Yes was smiley and round and easy to say. Yes. Almost like you smile when you're saying it. Brings up a natural smile. Yes, strength, smile, deep breaths, opening, light and easy, expansive. Yes feels like stiffness. Yeah. Noticing. Yes felt tired. Yeah. It's an invitation, soft release, heart expansion. Tingly, like I wanted to move upwards. Yeah. There's no right answers here. It's really, I find it fascinating to, how does this feel for different people? There's almost tearful with joy. It felt a bit ecstatic. Yes brought tears of wanting, all the wants want to come out. That's really touches me to see that. Cautious is the yes. Yeah. So the yes is can also be quite charged. Yeah, has anyone ever felt like I struggled not to follow it with please. I wanted to say yes, please. Yeah, and guys whose the video is on, can you put your hand up if you've ever said yes to anything that you didn't really want to do? Just put your hand up so we can see. Yeah, Kat's just smiling there. Okay, Jessica, yeah. Steve New, never done that. That's the Aussie way. Okay, I wasn't ready to say yes, I wanted to say no. Great noticing, guys. So let's talk about the no now. What was it like? How did it feel in your body to say the no? Benjamin said the yes felt empowering. Yeah, what was it like to say the no? And did you move with the no? I love doing a bit of a hand gesture with the no sometimes. I'm practicing a bit of the FU, a bit, F you. That can be quite fun. So there was some numbness in the no, relief, fidgety, insecure, smiling, sadness, blocked, resistance, closing. Heavy. No is firm and solid for Samantha. Cool. Rigid, angular, tight and uncomfortable. No is a twisting movement. A great and smiling no from Martine. Boundary setting, pushing away, heavy. Yeah. No made me feel like I wanted to punch and kick the air. Awesome. Pushing away. No felt groundedness and ease, shoulders dropped forcefully. Slight contraction from Niels in the face and belly, wanting to push back. Yeah. So when we're in this full sense of embodied sovereignty, we can get in touch with being able to say yes and no without such a big charge, so that we're able to express our truth and our boundaries, our wholeness, still in touch with the world, but also not taking responsibility for other people's responses to that. Because a lot of this charge can be about how we feel others might perceive us. So I want to talk a little bit about Gabor Mate now, who is presenting at the conference in October. And I love how he puts it. He talks about, like, as human beings, we have these two fundamental needs: the need for attachment and the need for authenticity. So as a baby mammal human, we're pretty useless. I mean, we're pretty cool and amazing, and people love to sniff us and look after us most of the time, but we can't feed for ourselves, we can't run away from danger, we can't make a blanket, keep ourselves warm. So we really need this attachment to others. We need them to want to look after us and to look after us to survive. So we learn from this very young age that attachment is what we need for our survival. And over time, we learn that certain behaviors make our caregivers more willing to look after us. So one thing that's quite interesting is when I don't know what it's like for you now, but if people want to take a photo of you, do you automatically start smiling? Because a lot of kids are taught, like, yeah, I have to smile like this in every photo. And if you look back at your childhood photos, you might see that in yourself, and it's quite funny. We're brought into these behaviors of attachment, and when we get rejected, it can feel almost like death, because deep in our nervous system, and that's what it can be. It can be a death, be rejected. So that's our need for attachment, is to not be rejected, to be accepted, to be loved, to be adored, to be part of the group. As we develop into adults, we have this other need developing, this need for authenticity. So this is more the need to be ourselves. What is it that I really want? Because we tend to sacrifice our authenticity for attachment. So if you're with, let's say you're dating someone, and they're like, where do you want to go for dinner? You say, oh, I don't mind. I don't mind. Like, where do you want to go? And they're like, oh, I want to go to this like raw Chinese, like this raw lobster place or whatever. And maybe it freaks you out, the idea, but maybe you don't say anything because you want to stay and be with this person. If that's and hello to everyone on Facebook as well. But if this is familiar to you, like sacrificing your authenticity to be in a relationship, can you just like write in the chat yes, or give me a little wave so I feel like I'm not alone? I want to say that one time I had this girlfriend who was vegan, and I really loved her and adored her, and I very much went vegan to be with her for ages, but I didn't really like it. It wasn't really me, and but I was vegan with her for ages before I finally would say, look, actually it's not me, I'm not vegan. And so this is really normal situation. One thing I want to just say here is, like, it's important for us to practice this stuff about boundaries, because it's not like you can instantly be amazing at it in every situation for life, apart from if you're Mark Walsh. I don't think he would ever, probably, because he's very low in agreeableness, so he would probably just always say what he wants. But for most of us, there's always a situation that's difficult. We might get really good with romantic partners, but what if it's your children? Or what if it's your parents? Or what if it's a teacher? There's always a situation that comes up where it's difficult, which is why we need to practice it all the time and we need to train ourselves and train our children to get into this stuff as well. Attachment versus authenticity. Yeah, this, as an adult, it's the need to actually say what I want and to be seen and loved and accepted for who I am, not for who I'm pretending to be. And the upshot of all of this need for attachment and our lack of training in embodied sovereignty means like we're often sacrificing this authenticity, and this can make us really unhappy, really sad. I remember I worked really hard for 2 years to be accepted by this community, only to realize, gosh, I don't even really like these people. Like, what the hell have I been doing? I just really wanted to be accepted and part of something. If that's if that's familiar to anyone, then can just give me a little wave or write in the comments so I don't feel all alone and vulnerable out here. Cool. So what do we do about it? Well, like I say, we need to practice. But what I'd love to do now is just start to open up and bring some awareness around this, because saying no and setting a healthy limit, there's a lot of gifts in there, and not being able to say no or not choosing not to say no also creates certain behaviors in ourselves because we still have these needs and wants and feelings. So Kate saying she stayed in a community project for 4 years, ignoring red flags because she wanted to be part of it. Yes. Matt Shearing says, almonds. Thank you for your sovereignty, Matt. So Steve, what I'm wondering if we could do now, can we pull up a sort of a screen where we could record some words in a list? Would that be possible?
I don't think the participants will be able to record anything. I think the best option, because what you were doing before was sharing your screen, it was just your desktop, so you could open a Word document there and record them on that.
All right, let's try that. I'm gonna see if I can let me see if I can make this work. Because we're going to do a bit of a quiz, and what we're going to ask, I'm going to invite you to write in your comments, is what stops us from saying no. So have a think about that now. Like, what is it that stops you from saying no? Think about recent situations where you haven't said no. I'm going to see if I can share my screen. So let's see if I open. Can you see this Pages document, Steve?
Yeah, but I can see that. Anything on your desktop, I'll be able to see.
So you can see. Can you see what stops us from saying no in the pink squares?
Yeah.
You can see that. Great. All right. So what stops us from saying no? And please write in the chat. And Steve, why don't you read a few out to me as they come up, and I'll record them here.
No worries. All right. Fear of speaking my truth, fear of rejection, social convention. I'll leave a bit more of a gap unless you're touched.
Yeah, leave a little gap, because let's take a moment to let these sink in. And as Steve's reading them out, as you're reading them in the chat, notice if that's true for you as well. Okay, so fear of speaking my truth, fear of social rejection.
Wanting
Let's have
to
another.
please people.
Oh yeah, big people. I'm a massive ex-people pleaser, but I still do it. Always wanting to please others. Some
FOMO,
people.
fear of missing out. Sorry.
Say again, mate.
FOMO, fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. Yes.
Politeness.
Oh yeah. Some countries, have bigger problems with this than others. In England, this is a mega problem for us.
Shame and guilt.
Oh, yeah, delicious. Yes.
Judged.
What? Yeah, we don't want to be judged. Being uncool or different. Yeah.
Being left alone. Yes, that's rejection as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's great. That's again like a different, each word, it has a different nuance, rejection or this feeling of being alone.
Fear of disappointing.
Oh, yeah. Anyone ever, I don't know, studied something you didn't want to study because your parents wanted you to do it? Or it's like, yeah, we don't want to disappoint people.
Fear of not being liked.
Yes.
Angry responses. Conflict.
Oh, yeah, because conflict is bad, right? We don't want conflict. Well, we learn that conflict is bad, and we're not really equipped how to deal with it so well, usually growing up. So this is a major turnoff. Like, who wants to cause a scene? It's really uncomfortable to be in that situation. Okay.
Upsetting people.
Yeah, we don't want to
Sense of
upset others.
obligation.
Say again, Steve?
Sense of obligation.
Yeah. Cool.
What else? You want a few more to keep them coming?
Let's have a few more. Let's just have a few more, yeah.
No one will accept or respect.
No one will accept it or respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, big one. And then we just can feel powerless. Okay, what else?
Proving worth.
Proving worth. Okay. Okay, one more, Steve, to round us off. Mm-hmm.
Right. Pressure's on. Fear of being attacked.
Yes. Actual physical threat and violence. Absolutely. This is a serious one. Like, what to actually do about that? In the UK, we've got a pretty, we call the police, then hopefully they're going to turn up quite soon and listen to us. But it's not like that in every country, in every situation. This is real. All right, one more, Steve.
Hero syndrome.
Hero syndrome. I can do it. That's a great. I love the way that's put. Hero syndrome. Okay, I'm gonna just zoom in on this for a sec. So just have a look at these words. Have a look at this. This is big stuff. Fear of rejection, fear of being alone, disappointing others, fear of conflict, sense of obligation, proving our worth, wanting to be the hero that can do everything. Look at those, and I want to invite you, wherever you are, to take a nice breath in. Now with a little R if you want. And I want to invite you to feel a little bit of compassion for yourself. This is hard. This can be hard to do, this saying no. So let's now go to, I'm going to come back for a moment. I'm going to stop the share for a moment. We're going to come back to that in a sec. I want to go somewhere a little bit different now, because just because we don't say no when we want to say no, it doesn't make the feeling go away, the thing go away. So what happens? What do we do instead of saying no? I was talking to someone recently who, when their boss would ring them up after work or as they were just leaving work and ask them to do something, she would actually just pretend there's really bad connection, say, sorry, I can't hear you, bye, bye. So that was quite a funny way of dealing with it. But I know for myself that when I can't say no, I can get into these like this kind of passive aggressive behavior with this person. Like I get angry with them, and I feel like because I've said yes, I can't express my anger or frustration. So that's a really interesting one. And I want to make another list now about what do we do instead of saying no. Like what comes up instead? What do we do instead? So have a think about that. I'm going to go back to the screen sharing. And well done, Steve, for keeping it all rocking. Let's have a look. So can you see it again, Steve?
Yep, we're all good.
Great. So what do we do instead? What do we do instead of saying no? Put it up here. What happens instead? Okay, Steve, have we got anything coming in?
Rationalize why I should say yes.
Great. Yeah, we like find reasons.
Get ill.
Great. Yeah, we just get like ill, we get run down. We're unable to keep our other obligations. Yep.
Avoidance. Excuses.
Yeah, great. Sorry, I can't hear you. I don't have time to talk right now. Yes.
Pretend that I'm okay.
Oh, classic. Classic. I wanted to say something here. Like this is one of the foundations of intimacy are being able to, the foundations of real meaningful connection are about being able to say what's really going on between you and this person. Ram Dass used to talk about we're all like astronauts floating through space and bumping into each other with these space helmets on, and you can't, those like old school space helmets, and it's like a single kind of sunglass dark lens and you can't see the face. It's a bit like that. We're bumping into each other. We can't really see what's going on, and there's no room for real connection. Now, if you're pretending you're okay with your colleagues at work, with your boss, with your partner, with your family, they don't know what's really going on for you, and you can't then really have, there's something missing in that relationship. There's an intimacy that's not going on there. You're unable to support each other. We're designed to work in groups. We're designed to be social with each other. And it works really well when we can communicate and be with that. So that's okay, that's great. Let's move on, Steve.
Criticize.
Oh yeah. I'd love to go into that a bit more. I'd love to hear from the person who said that, if they would be willing to speak, if that's possible.
Jessica, if you would like to raise your hand, or I can try and search for you. And, want to speak, then you can. But she's
Yes.
here. You can unmute yourself, or I can unmute you. There you go.
Hello.
Hey, thanks so much for speaking now. Can you tell us a bit more about the Criticize?
So it's very internal. Obviously, the critic goes very internal and criticize the justification I'm doing and why I am the way I am, basically. It's the spiral it goes into. And then I find I become kind of passive aggressive in my mind. So I create a conflict with the person and I start criticizing all the things they could do differently or could be differently, and then I criticize myself for criticizing them because I know I'm angry at myself. So as I get angry at them, it just comes right back to me.
Wow, thank you. And thanks so much for sharing that. And if anyone else is familiar with that experience, please just write in the chat. Just say like yes or hallelujah. Right, like let's celebrate this. Thank you so much for sharing that. The spiral of criticism and self-criticism, brilliant. Okay, what else? Let's whack a few more up there.
Resent saying yes.
Resent saying yes, great. What else?
Out passivity, inner frustration.
Outward passivity.
Yep.
Inner frustration.
Yep.
Great.
Unclear, not concrete answers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just get all wishy-washy. Oh yeah, I know that one so well. What else?
Scream into a pillow and bang pots and pans around.
Okay. I love that. I think this is actually I want to do that. It sounds really healthy and fun. Great. What else?
Abandon ourself.
Feeling that. Abandon ourselves. Yes.
Lie, make up excuses.
Yeah. Yes. What else?
Get defensive and snippy.
Was that sniffy?
Snippy.
Snippy, yeah. Get sharp little dart attacks, huh? Okay, what else?
Force myself and feel overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, big one, yeah. What else?
Go on as if nothing has happened.
Yeah, just pretend. Great. Let's have one or two more, Steve.
All right. Burnout.
Burnout, yeah.
Make up stories.
Great. Great. Well, thanks so much, Stephen. Thanks everyone for contributing to that. Can you see my little mouse, Steve? My little mouse pointer going around?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay, everyone. I want to invite you to have a look at these on this side. What stops us from saying no? And if you like, I invite you to put your hand on your heart and take a moment just to feel some compassion for yourself, because it can be really hard. You know, there's a lot going on here. It can be really hard. So just take a moment to be like, I understand that it's hard, and that's okay. And now I want you to look at the things on this side. And maybe some of these behaviors are behaviors you don't feel particularly brilliant and proud about. Just have a look at these. And looking at these and looking at how on the other side it can be so difficult, just take a moment to feel a little bit of compassion for yourself for when you're doing these behaviors, this like self-critiquing and this resentment and this frustration and giving these wishy-washy answers and burning out. Just take a moment to like feel a bit of compassion for yourself. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to stop sharing the screen and come back to some face-to-face contact. Here we go. So I can see people again. Okay, great. This stuff is hard. I want to talk about Gabor Mate again for a moment. He wrote a brilliant book called The Body When the Body Says No. And much of it is about when we can't say no outwardly, emotionally, our body says no for us. And it can lead to various like conditions and autoimmune diseases and that kind of thing. So this saying no is just vital. Like it invites us into deeper connection with the people that we're speaking to. It opens up new opportunities in our relationships to talk to each other and negotiate. I don't know if you've ever had like a friend in your group who just like can't say no to anything and ends up doing loads of things they don't like, or maybe it's you. But sometimes it's not so fun to be around someone like that, because you never really know if they're enjoying something or having a terrible time or they're able to assert themselves. And in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, that will erode your relationship in the end. There's nothing to push against. I want to speak a little bit personally. I'm really into this work because when I was young, I really wanted to fit in. I really wanted to be part of things. And I totally lost touch with my own needs and desires. And people would ask me things and I'd give responses. And it felt a bit weird because it felt really inauthentic, because it was really inauthentic. And I noticed that some people felt uncomfortable around me. And what I've learned to do is build this sense of embodied sovereignty and build this sense of boundaries and be able to say yes and no and ask for what I want. And it's been amazing. It's changed all my business relationships, my romantic relationships, my relationships with my family. It's not always easy. It's not always ice creams and unicorns at the beach, right? But there's something about honoring this authenticity of yourself, being true to yourself, that invites this truth in others. And I think there's something really important in that. And I feel like as a society, we've been losing touch with that. And I think it's time to bring it back in, to be able to walk around with this sense of being in touch with we want, need, desire, being able to talk about it, to move towards it, to take the risks. Brené Brown talks about daring greatly. And I love that. I love it. I feel tingles up my spine just saying that word, daring greatly. Daring to be alive. Daring to feel whole. Daring to set a limit. So I'm really passionate about this work. I want to invite a moment please in the comments write how you're feeling now, or anything that's resonant for you about this session. What are you feeling? What are you noticing? And I want to invite you to speak about your own experience, like in this moment. Yeah. Yeah, feeling heat. Feeling exhausted, Michelle. Yeah. Yes to daring to say no more. Yeah. Sad at the years. I'm getting the goosebumps, yeah? Sadness. I'm not the only one, hurrah. Everyone is like this, Liz. Even Mark Walsh. Okay. Dazed. Healing and release, yeah. Good to read these. Guys, we're coming up to the end of the session in a few moments. I want to make an invitation to you. My invitation is to explore these qualities of being able to wake up our feelings. Quite often we squash them down because it's painful to feel the wanting or painful to feel rejected. So, I'm just reading Beverly's. I'm being 42 and still scared people won't like me if I say no. Yes, that never goes away, Beverly. It's really deep. So we have to practice. We have to practice. Anna's feeling a bit confused. That's totally cool. So this invitation is to work with these elements of noticing, like, this is the things, like noticing how you're feeling and then sensing and responding to the world. So if you're not sure when someone asks you something, say, I'm not sure, let me just take a moment, let me get back to you. You don't have to say no instantly or yes. And there's a scale of willingness. There's a scale of it. Now, this is a really short session. I'm running a course on embodied sovereignty, which starts on Wednesday. And I'm going to put a link in it here. If you'd like to join that and join with myself and some other fantastic teachers, we're going on a 5-week journey to really get in there. So I'm going to put that link in there. I'm also going to put my email because I offer coaching around this for people on a one-to-one level or relationships. So can I pop that in there, Steve? Just in the where's the best place to put that?
Yep, the one that has the picture of all the heads. General chat should do it.
Okay.
We'll also post this on Facebook for those who are watching on the live stream.
The one with all the heads. Okay, so just in the normal chat here, do I do group coaching? Yes, I do group coaching. And I run something called Togetherness, which is about cultivating more meaningful, authentic human connections, showing up whole and raw and beautiful and unapologetic, just as we are, and embracing this wholeness of life. So it'd be lovely to hear from you, and thanks so much for your time. Thanks for hosting me today, and I'm really excited about presenting at the main conference as well in October. So thanks everyone, and why don't we finish with something a little bit, okay, breathing in and opening the arms up. Breathing out, come in and give yourself a little hug. Oh yeah. Just feeling like, oh yeah, I'm lovely. I love myself. I'm wonderful. Just giving yourself a good old, oh yeah, I deserve this. I deserve to be hugged and loved, and it's yum. Okay, thanks so much, everyone, and take care. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam, for the incredible presentation as always. I had the Walsh saying, bloody hell, this is good as well on WhatsApp to me. But yeah, again, some fantastics and thank yous and everything coming in here. Asking for your Instagram. I believe you'd be on there, at Togetherness or at Adam. He's going to type it. He's going to type his Instagram in.
Yeah, House of Togetherness. I'll put that on there.
So thank you, Adam. And yeah, as Adam said, he's going to be on this year's embodiment conference as well, so on the intimacy and relationships channel, and I'm sure he can probably go in a few different others if he so desires as well. If you tune some of his sessions, tune into something that he does in the evening, you'll get to see some fancy light show where he's sitting right now, which is always lovely as well. Do check that out. Speaking of the embodiment conference, so terrible thing that I've just shared, isn't it? But there'll be recordings for this available for until like Monday night, 24 hours after the event finishes. But if you would like to get these recordings and all the recordings for all 1,000 hours plus of the sessions of the Embodiment University for this year's Embodiment Conference, with 1,000 speakers, your Gabor Mates, your Dr. Peter Levine's, Bonnie Brainbridge Cohen's, Tara Brach, whoever else, you can go there and buy the upgrade now. The reason why we're selling it now is, and it's really good value, is that you will be able to get access to tutorial groups to help you guide your learning. This won't be offered later. So if you would like personal tutorial groups to help you guide your learning, because there's an absolute fucking shitload of stuff there, do sign up for that. There's a few different options. Most of you are probably using a free account now, but there's a few different options to get different things there and get involved in the tutorial group and all these recordings. I'd also love if you wanted to join the Embodiment Facebook conference Facebook group. I've forgotten how to speak, Adam, so what's going on. You can join that and you can interact, tell us what pictures you want for the future event, tell us what speakers you want, all that sort of thing, because we asked you guys. You chose the offer today. Embodiment circles. Adam was running one of these in the past as well, but embodiment circles are a chance to daily practice some embodiment stuff with all sorts of embodiment teachers, and they're free, so it's worth signing up for that, checking them out. We've got a few really good ones. Paul Linden is doing Wednesday nights, and it's like just on a circle, so like, why not join that? And please, last one, please do share this with someone you know. Like we asked to share with one friend, get them to come along, because if you're here, you're probably going to have a friend who also likes this sort of shit. Please just do share the Embodiment Conference with them. And that's a thank you, because we're putting this on today for free, so please do share it with them so that they can get the good stuff as well. Get Adam and whoever else. Manal is coming up next on parenting. So if any of you are parents or going to be parents, or have had parents, some of you may have had parents, then unless you were delivered by a stork, I guess, but so you can check out her session. So thank you, Adam, and until next time, cheers. Yeah, so anyone who's like, wait, how the fuck did I get here? I forgot. You can just go into the next session, click on the actual channel for it. So Manal is on the Leadership and Business channel, I believe, and click on that actual channel and you'll be able to live stream from there. He's there in a sec.